Good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon, sir.
Please sit down.
Thank you, sir.
So, Aparajita,
Yes.
tell us something about yourself.
Sir, my name is Aparajita Aryan and I hail from the UT of Jammu and Kashmir. I have done my graduation with honours in commerce and post-graduation in economics. Additionally, I am also a Visharad in Kathak. In 2023, I cleared Jammu Kashmir Public Service Combined Competitive Exam, in which I was allotted Jammu Kashmir Administrative Service. I am currently working as a Block Development Officer in the Office of Assistant Commissioner Panchayat Jammu. And apart from my academics and work, I cherish my time spent with family and friends.
So, you said your training is complete now?
Sir, actually the Jammu Kashmir Administrative Service, specifically, they were not trained that much because of the paucity and dearth of administrative officers in the state.
Okay.
So it was cut short for only 21 days and then we were put in the field.
Oh, I see. We recently had one from the police JKP police service also. He also says the same thing, that after about 3 weeks training he was sent back for normal work. Very strange for Jammu and Kashmir. Anyway, Aryan, do you have any connection with the tribe in Kargil?
No sir, actually no sir.
What is unique about that tribe?
So they are Dard Aryans, or they are the ethnic community of Ladakh. And they are the original inhabitants of the place.
Anthropologically speaking, are they indigenous people, or they came there from somewhere?
So anthropologically it's highly debated because no research can confirm this, that who are the original inhabitants and who are the descendants. So we'll have to probably go back into history and delve very deep into the definitions of what constitutes an original inhabitant. So there has been a debate on that. So it's not confirmed as to they were someone who migrated from the Central Asia, or they were the original inhabitants.
All right. What is the status of panchayats right now? Are they operative in Jammu and Kashmir or no longer?
So the BDCs, the BDC has been dissolved now. So elections are due. But as a whole, the concept of Panchayati Raj post the 2019 is now aligned to the 73rd Constitutional Amendment Act. Prior to that, we had Jammu Kashmir Panchayati Raj Act of 1989, in which there was a two-tier system. So it's operative, sir.
Do you think it has brought Jamhuriyat, as Jammu and Kashmir is fond of calling, Jamhuriyat to the grassroots?
So the 73rd Constitutional Amendment, you're asking about that, sir?
No, the experience of Jammu and Kashmir.
So in regards to the Panchayati Raj?
Yes.
Okay. So definitely I think the penetration has increased. So now we have three-tier system as opposed to the two-tier system that we had prior to 2019. And the Panchayati Raj institutions have now penetrated more into the grassroots. So I would say yes, sir.
What do you think of the inclusion of certain communities in the ST community?
Yes.
Do you think it will highlight, or it will increase societal tensions than becoming more inclusive?
So definitely it will have a ramification when we talk about the tribes that are already included in the scheduled tribes, because adding that will have apprehensions in their mind that their quota will get reduced or their own reservation can be challenged in some ways. But I think it will make the community of scheduled tribes in Jammu and Kashmir more representative, and people who are really in need of affirmative action should get it. So I think it's a small price to pay in that way.
Okay. Do you think in Maldives, India is having a problem in Maldives, is there any connection with India, anthropologically speaking?
Sir, can you repeat the question?
With Maldives,
Yes, sir.
do you think there is an anthropological connection with India?
So definitely, 98% of the population of Maldives is Islamic population, and India also hosts a significant population of Muslims. And apart from that, we also share a not territorial, sea boundary with Maldives. So in that way, and the archipelago is somewhat similar to that of Lakshadweep. So I would say that we have a connection with the Maldives.
Okay. The last question to you.
Yes, sir.
The Indian diplomacy,
Yes, sir.
do you think has done well in the case of Maldives? Are we not reduced to the status of just being the sabziwalas of Maldives?
Sir, I would hesitate to say that, because India plays a ethical game and a long game in that way, because India as opposed to China are two very different powers when it comes to the South Asian region. We have our Sagar doctrine, and we are one who helps the countries in terms when they need it. Same with the case of Maldives when they needed India's help.
Thank you.
Aparajita, Jammu and Kashmir was divided into, in fact, divided in 3 territories, union territories. Now Kashmir says we want to be state,
Yes.
right? They have been demanding. Ladakh also says. Will it be better for India or for the welfare of the people, economic development and welfare, whether Kashmir should be same as previous, one state with 3 regions, or 3 states, or 3 union territories, or some union territories and some states?
Sir, I think in the present time, definitely, as the government has also ensured that Jammu and Kashmir will be made a state again. So I think that can be the long-term goal, or the goal that we should look for in the future. And Ladakh being a union territory with some significant amount of autonomy and representation that they are demanding for. In particularly, if I talk about Jammu and Kashmir, it is unprecedented that a state has been downgraded to the position of a union territory. But it was it is definitely in the welfare of the state in general, because after the 2019, I would say the situation in Jammu and Kashmir has improved by leaps and bounds. So the downgrading of Jammu and Kashmir, though difficult at that point, has now started showing its fruits. But the long-term goal should be to make it a state again.
Why long-term goal should be, if it is doing good, why we should go back to statehood?
Sir, because Jammu Kashmir not being a homogeneous state, union territories are basically controlled by the central government, and they are apt for a homogeneous population who's not very different to each other. But Jammu and Kashmir is very heterogeneous in terms of its culture, language, religions, and significant autonomy must be provided.
Okay, if that argument holds good, let us go for POK also. Let us get to POK also, part of Jammu and Kashmir, and make it a full-fledged Jammu and Kashmir with integrated Kashmir,
Sir,
Kashmir and Jammu. with autonomous?
POK has always been the part of India. It's a part of Jammu and Kashmir.
Has been always.
So as in we claim that to be the part of
okay, integral
the,
part
yes,
of
sir.
India.
Yes, sir. So definitely, if in times that we can rightfully create
By using cultural and economic diplomacy, can we make and propaganda as a diplomatic instrument? Can we make POK as gradually part of India
so that is the goal.
to begin with?
Yes, sir. That is definitely the goal. India has always believed that POK is the integral part of Jammu and Kashmir and Indian territory. So that is definitely the goal. Knowing the fault lines that we have with Pakistan on this issue, I think it will be a little difficult.
Okay.
Yes.
Welcome, Aparajita. You are a student of commerce.
Yes, sir.
Tell me, in what circumstances we do forensic audit? And what is the purpose of doing forensic audit?
Forensic audit, sir. I'm sorry, sir. I cannot.
Okay. See, if you want to select a company which is investable company, which you want to invest,
Yes.
what financial ratios will be important to watch to see whether the company is in good health, financial health or not?
So I would see the debt to equity ratio. I would see I'm sorry, can I take a moment? Sorry, sir, I am not able to remember.
What is the importance of cash flow?
So cash flow is the amount of liquid assets that a company holds for taking out the daily activities of the company.
Is debt to equity ratio is always a bad thing? Higher debt when the company is in expansion mode is good?
So it depends. As you said, sometimes if it is in expansion mode and if the company is sure that the debt is going to be serviced by, if it is possible to service that debt, it is not bad, sir.
See, sometime back there was Hindenburg report.
Yes, sir.
What was the Hindenburg report about?
I'm sorry, sir.
You have not read. You
No,
are a
sir.
commerce student. Should have read that. Okay, tell me what is the per capita income of a country?
So per capita income of the country is around $2,000.
And when we reach developed nation status, what could be the per capita income at that time?
It's around $12,000.
$12,000. Okay. When did we reach the size of 1 trillion economy? Which year?
Sir, I do not remember, sir.
What is the gross domestic saving rate of a country?
Gross domestic saving rate, so it is around 27%.
So with the highest saving rate, our industry, the private capex is not coming up. What is the reason that where does the domestic saving goes? This is very high
Yes, sir.
compared to any standard, 27%, very high rate.
So can you repeat the question?
The saving rate is comparable to other countries, it is very high.
Yes, sir.
But still our industry is not getting the finance which it needs to grow. So what is where the fault?
So first would be the general slowdown after the pandemic years. The investment has...
Getting big amount of loan, the get amount of money from the people is always a challenge
Yes, sir.
for the industry. Capital is an important input.
Yes, sir.
So with such a domestic having rate, where is the contradiction? What is wrong? We should have been huge pool of investment available with us, but it is not there. And this is a contradiction. How do you explain the contradiction?
So because savings, definitely India saves, but they are not investing the savings.
Where does they invest the saving?
So they generally pool it either in cash or either with the banks, but they are not...
What other areas the domestic savings goes?
Sorry, sir?
What other areas domestic savings goes?
Sir, I am not able
If you
to...
think of your home, your surrounding people, how do they talk? सेविंग्स है तो
So
ये
they-
पैसा लगा दो कुछ.
Yes, sir. So they generally put it in immovable and movable
This is
assets.
general knowledge,
Yes, sir.
general awareness question.
Yes,
In real estate and gold is the
Yes, sir.
preferred form.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
This is not productive assets. Who are student of commerce, economics, you should know.
Sorry,
Okay,
sir.
better. Thank you.
Is Aryan your surname?
No, sir. So,
What is it?
sir, sir, my father also doesn't put any surname with his name. So it was just my last name that he thought was aesthetically pleasing with my name. So this is not
By the
mine.
same logic, can somebody use Dravidian as like this?
So if they find it nice, yes, sir, why not?
What are these two groups, Aryans and Dravidians, anthropologically speaking?
Yes, sir. So these are the first inhabitants of, if we go back in history for some period, these are the ethnic groups and the racial groups that were present in the Indian subcontinent.
Not linguistic?
Sorry, sir?
Not linguistic.
Yes, sir. Linguistic also.
Now, which one of them was an indigenous group? Both or any one?
Sir, Dravidian.
Dravidians.
Yes, sir.
Now, Bal Gangadhar Tilak had written a book, Arctic Home in the Vedas,
Yes, sir.
claiming that the Aryans came from the North Pole.
Yes, sir.
How logical is that?
So it is possible, but I think later he only made some corrections to that, but I'm not sure about that if he did that. It is possible that they came from the Arctic or the Central Asian region, considering the ethnic or the.
Central Asia and Arctic are far from each other.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So it's as I said, they are only speculations, and no one is sure which area. Some believe that they also had European roots. Some believe they migrated from the Central Asia, while some believe they came from the Arctic.
Assuming that the Aryans came from outside,
Yes, sir.
was it an invasion or a migration?
So again, it could be both of them because we have a paucity of data on both.
But what do you think logically it would have been?
So if I take myself to the argument of Indus Valley civilization, then I would say it was an invasion. But if I believe that the Indus Valley civilization moved somewhere else, then it could be a migration as well.
So you are not taking a stand.
So I would go with the invasion theory.
But why would they invade? They were pastoral nomadic people.
Yes, sir.
Why would they invade?
So I would not say they came with the idea of invading the territory only, because as they must have been moving towards the Indian region, they might have faced conflict or some kind of.
Fair enough, agreed. You have done something about business ethics.
Yes, sir.
What are the main components of business ethics?
So, corporate social responsibility can be one of the business ethics that are very relevant today. Environmental ethics, sustainability can be others.
Can business be ethical, broadly speaking?
So, if from the point of view of profitability, business may not be ethical.
Making a profit is not a crime, is it?
Yes, no, sir.
So then,
So, but in today's day and age, when moral fabric is eroded, I
get your point. Thank you.
Thank you. You are a proficient in classical dance of Kathak.
Yes, sir.
Which ruler was associated with this Kathak?
So, there were many, primarily Wajid Nawab of Awadh.
What was the name?
So, if I'm not forgetting, it was Wajid Ali Shah.
Okay, you have also mentioned about a YouTube channel on education anthropology.
Yes, sir.
Do you think this online education will ever be able to replace the offline method of education?
So it doesn't need to replace the offline, because it can act as a good facilitator to the offline education. Replacing, I don't think, is a good idea, and it should not do that.
It should not do that.
Yes, sir.
Then how are we supposed to digitize?
So by that I meant that offline education has its own pros and cons, which is something irreplaceable. Online education can never do that. It can only be a facilitator.
Okay, coming to your optional anthropology, tell me about out of Africa theory.
Yes, sir. So it is believed that the original Homo, the first Homo, that was the Homo erectus, the mother of all Homos, were born in Africa, precisely East Africa, the Tuang, the Kenya region. And after that, the migration started happening to the Europe and other parts of Asia, and that is how the out of Africa theory was derived.
Okay, being the student of anthropology, tell me about the lost city of Petra.
Can you repeat the question, sir?
Lost city of Petra. You ever heard of it?
Sir, I'm forgetting it, sir.
You have heard of it, but you are
So I
never.
think so. I read it somewhere, but I cannot remember it.
Can you come up with something? What are you able to recall?
I'm blank on it, sir.
Okay. What's the difference between this social anthropology and sociology? When we have sociology, why there is a need of having social anthropology? And if we are having social anthropology, what's the need of sociology?
So the difference between social anthropology, in my limited knowledge, and sociology would be the people whom we are studying. In sociology, it mostly studies the modern societies and the present day societies, whereas in social anthropology, though anthropology is studying the human and the mankind in holistic way, but our prime subjects are the tribal population. So that would be one difference, sir, I would say.
You're a student of commerce and economics. Why you chose this optional anthropology? This is totally.
Sir, actually, after my post-graduation, I started preparing for UPSC and state civil services, and in our state there used to be at that time 2 subjects. So I started studying anthropology, and then when I immersed into the subject, I thought my interest was growing, and it was a newfound love. So by the time I was writing the mains this time, I was more comfortable with the subject.
Okay. My last question.
Yes, sir.
Tell me, if the fiscal deficit of any country is increasing, is it a good thing or a bad thing?
So again, it depends upon the kind of expenditure that the country incurs.
Okay. Thank you.
So, Aparajita, are you happy with your mock today?
Yes, sir.
You are?
Yes,
How would you rate on a scale of 1 to 10?
So myself,
Yes,
so I will rate myself a 6.
a 6. Okay. Alright. Aparajita, you're way better than that.
Thank you, sir.
Let's say that. Okay. And you are already in one of the administrative services, and now you are looking to crack the central or the all India service or the central services, whatever. So, all the best to you. You now, if you break it down, you present yourself very well, coming from Jammu and Kashmir, and I don't know whether you will prefer to wear a sari or a suit.
Sir, sorry.
Okay, that's fine. All right, and you are elegant throughout your mock, and very reasonable, very cogent, and made your points, made your arguments properly and convincingly, right? And economics, which you have studied, budget and economics, probably. When is the interview?
So 28th of Feb.
So you have time. You could brush that up and just refresh your knowledge. I think that will help you better, right? You could use your hands a bit more. There is no need to be constrained because of the hands, right? And rest of the things, I think you are very good. And it's good that you say no.
Yes.
Wherever you don't know a thing, you say, you don't know. And one phrase I didn't like, I would like to mention that in my limited knowledge. Why should one hire somebody who has limited knowledge? Could you choose a better phrase like as far as I know?
Okay, sir.
Right? So it's looking at a glass half full or half empty.
To the best of my knowledge.
Yeah, to the best of my knowledge.
Okay, sir.
So that's non-committal as well, and it doesn't cast. You are not casting aspersion yourself on your knowledge. So that's what you could use. Rest of the things, I think you are very good. All the best to you.
Absolutely.
You have any questions? Please do that. Otherwise,
You're very good.
you are
No
good to
doubt.
go.
Sir, do I elongate my answers?
I have written down here, once in a while I felt it
Yes.
was rather longish. I've written it there. Otherwise you're fine, absolutely fine.
Just to add on,
Please.
when sir asked about the Hindenburg reports and all of this current affairs, you should have answered his questions very well. These are very common reports and all of. Are you able to recall that now?
No,
You know, okay.
I didn't. I was out of the subject for a long time now,
Okay,
so I
okay.
think.
But this is part of your best
Yes,
question.
because your graduation and MA is in this part only.
Yes, sir, yes, sir.
So you should have handled that well.
Yes, I'll brush it up now.
Yeah, good.
Gap is very important. Questions वहीं से याद आते हैं.
Yes, sir.
Numbers का भी dash पढ़ा होता है, वो उसी से आइडिया लेके वो क्वेश्चन.
Correct, sir.
70% questions भी from the DAP, 30% from front of face का. That should take.
I will brush it up, sir.
All the best.
Thank
All
you.
the best.
Very good.
Say
Thank you.
all
sir.
the best.
Thank you, sir.
Bye bye.